It's 2:30.
Welcome to episode 37, everyone. On an ongoing podcast where we discuss upcoming things and things that we've done. I'm Brady, and this is your other host, James, and this is the Nitro Cast. Welcome.
If something that hasn't happened yet is upcoming, does that mean the things we've already done is back going? Just going back into the past as we keep going forward.
Everything moves.
Speaking of things that we've done, I'm pleased to announce that we are about to premiere a brand new Granicore video. I finally finished it. Check it out.
Right now.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Brady, and today, welcome back to Nuclear Gaming. Yeah! We had a poll, and it was amazing. We had Balloon Fight, we had Mario Brothers, we had Pushmo on there. No one plays Pushmo, but the winner of the poll, you think you know what it is. This boy right here, Dukes of Hazzard.
That was my favorite game growing up. I can't wait to hear his take on it.
This game sucks.
I just don't understand why he could do that to me! A pizza delivery! If I ever find him, I swear to God, I'm gonna make him pay for saying things about my favorite childhood video game, Dukes of Hazzard, The Revenge of King Smith. If I ever see him, I will see him. I'm going to call him... Hello? Better be watching your back or two right now, because if I find you right now...
Well, personally, I didn't understand anything except you saying Dukes of Hazzard was okay, and quite frankly, you disagree with my opinion. But my opinion is nuclear, and this game is doo-doo! So if you don't like me, I'll fight you. If you're gonna attack me, I'll punch you. You hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you. You swear at me, I'ma kill you. You understand? Hello?
There he is right there.
I'm a wrecking crew, wreck your ass.
Well, let me tell you right now, if you thought you could say anything bad about the Dukes of Hazzard, the video game on Xbox, you better think again, because I'm here to destroy you, and we're going to fight right here, right now.
Yeah, okay, let me pick my character first. Virtual Brady. Nuclear Gamer. With these nuclear skills, I'm gonna review your ass. Ready? Go! You really fucked up this time, big boy. Ooh.
Oh, that really fucking sucked, didn't it?
Did
It was a shitty video. Can't believe we went and...
I worked really hard on that.
I
That took me so long.
I know.
That took me so long. That was way more editing intensive than like any Granicore video I've done before. Like I had to make all the menus from scratch just based on like, well, I would take like the Soul Calibur menu, but I had to like put all the faces in. I had to animate the cursor. I had to do all the green screen stuff, and the fight.
Really cool.
The fight took so long because I was sifting through all the clips trying to find all the
I was
moves.
laughing so hard over it.
But it was all 4K footage in After Effects, so of course it wants to run at like
as well as
1 mile
your
an
problem
hour.
with your computer prior, where I think
Yeah.
it was it wouldn't be able to render it, or was it?
It was just too slow.
Yeah, it was just too
but my new
slow.
graphics card and I have way more RAM, so it was like quite a bit more doable, but it's still like slow. Like editing that stuff in real time, you need like a super Hollywood computer to do. unfortunately. At least I think. 'Cause I don't know, it seems like no matter how much I upgrade my computer, it never gets perfect. Because, like, I have, like, a pretty recent graphics card. Like, I have one from 2019, a very recent one. It was, like, an $800 one, so it must be a decent one. Or no, it was, like, $600. It was $800 for the RAM and the graphics card. That's what it was. Actually, I don't even know. I don't know anything about computers. Maybe it's good. Nick told me it's good. Yeah. I don't know. I know it can do 4K. Which is actually kind of fun, just because I got a 4K TV, but I can never play my PC stuff off of it. So I booted up some old Steam games just to see if some of them could be output in 4K, and I played a bit of Deus Ex Human Revolution in 4K, and it was like super cool playing it on my big TV and such a clear like seeing that game crisper than I've literally ever seen. It's like one of my favorite games to see it that crisp. But the problem is that game is like older. Oop. And it's clearly wasn't meant to be played in 4K because they don't scale the HUD elements, so all the text gets super tiny, your health bar is like, I need a magnifying glass to see everything, so I couldn't really do it very long, like realistically play like that. Yeah. Maybe there's mods to scale it up or something, I don't know, I don't do much PC stuff. You've been doing any more mod stuff? Metal Gear?
Just basically just going in, adding certain skins and stuff. It's really just about customizing that, I mean... I have like a John Wick skin, and then...
oh, that's cool. I remember people made a John Wick skin, yeah. So did people model that from scratch, or is it just kind of like pasted together from prior existing models, do you think?
I think it was basically created in, I think it was the Avatar selection.
Oh,
so they really tried to get it as down pat as possible.
I forgot that game had
Probably
Avatar.
went and swapped and reworked things along the way. Either way, it looks really good because they also have, like, if you only want to play as like Big Boss. Spoilers alert. If you want to play as Big Boss, you can just play as John Wick. Or if you want to play as Johnny Silverhand from Cyberpunk.
Oh, they made that
Venom
too.
Snake. You have like
I see.
That's the bionic arm, right? So you can just choose between the two, and it's really
cool. Because it's like that's actually kind of clever. Do they change the color of the arm to be like closer to his, or they just leave it red?
Because I mean, like you can get like the silver hand, right?
You can. Yeah.
So I mean, like no real need for customizing it unless you really needed that extra.
God, it's been so long since I've really played Metal Gear 5. Like I remember. I did a lot of the post-game stuff, but not enough to 100% it. But I was like, there's still a lot of items I never got. I know I got the Patriot, and I got like a lot of stuff, but I don't think I ever got like the silver. I got the Jehuti hand. You get that pretty early though. But
you rarely use it though. Like that's what I find. Like I was like, Jehuti, and I was like,
that's the thing though is like Metal Gear always gives you items you think you never use and you think aren't that helpful. But then I always see videos of other people playing, and they're always using them, and they're really good with them. So like. That's what's cool about games like Metal Gear is there's so many options that like a lot of them will seem useless to you, but someone else will find them very helpful. And I'm sure I found a lot of stuff helpful that other people didn't. Can't think of any examples because it's been a long time since I played that thing. God, remember I used to love the inflatable decoys. They're like my favorite thing just because of how goofy they are.
Oh my God, there was speaking of those, when I was playing recently. I was streaming it in my community server, and I was like, hey, watch this. There's a guy in the tower, and so I throw the decoy up and immediately activate it. So it goes, like that, pop. Guy goes flying out of the tower onto another guy and knocks him out. And I was just like...
That's amazing. S rank. See, when crazy shit like that happens, the game gives you an S rank. You feel like a mastermind. I forgot that you could also. That's another cool thing about that game is the items are really versatile. Like they can do more things than you originally think they can. Like Breath of the Wild is the same way. But yeah, like I forgot you could activate the balloon underneath somebody and it blows them away.
Yeah, it's like using the decoys as like. Decoys and stun items is so good because like I've done the side ops as well. It's like there's a tank, there's 3 guys, I throw one at the guy, it pops up, explodes, the tank goes I go to the next guy, it goes I come around, choke the guy, kick him awake, throw the thing down, pop, knocks him out.
The tank
goes and I'm already Fultoning it out, and it just goes.
Oh, yeah, it goes through the wormhole. That's like another thing is it's just so funny. Like, how do we make Fulton better? Okay, well, clearly we upgrade the Fulton by making it so you can't shoot it down. Okay, so what do? Get a steel balloon? No, wormhole, because now you can do it from indoors too. God.
Lord.
But going back to character creators, it's pretty crazy how, like, in-depth character creators are. Because remember, it used to be just, like, you pick the hair, you pick the eyes, you pick the, you know...
No, like, you
but now
scars.
you can mold it.
Yeah.
You can mold it from scratch. And I usually try to make myself. I just, like, put up a picture of myself. That's what I did with my Metal Gear Solid 5 character.
I did that for a while, and then I was like, I want to see if I can recreate Big Boss in this.
Yeah.
And I tried to, and it was, like, sort of okay.
Yeah.
But...
I've seen other people do a pretty decent job, but you can never get it, like, exact, because, like, the options seem really robust, but maybe I'm just bad at it. I'm really bad at getting it to look right.
Yeah.
I try to make myself in Neo 2, but the thing about Neo 2 is, like, all the eye options at least look kind of Asian, because you're a samurai, obviously. So I posted to Twitter, everyone's like, seeing James but Asian's really weird. I'm like, yeah, this kind of, But I tried to make myself best I could. They had a hair option that kind of has the part that I always do in the morning. I don't have that right now because my hair's sweaty and it's 31 degrees.
It is a friggin' mess here. I am dying.
I just realized 31 degrees is, like, not hot to Americans because they use Fahrenheit. What's 31 degrees? And the thing is, like, I'm sure a lot of people in the States watching are be like, that's not that hot, but it's hot by our
This is a
standards.
very muggy, warm New York afternoon.
Oh, yeah. See, that's the problem with Nova Scotia heat, is because Nova Scotia's a cape. We're surrounded by water, so we get a lot of rainy weather, but during the summer, if it's not raining, it's really, really humid, and it sticks to your skin, and it just makes it all the more miserable and hot. So, like...
You're slow, you're sticky, you're warm, you're sweaty, it's gross.
Or not 31 F and C, 31 C and F. That's negative...
31
5.
C.
Okay, 31... 87 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
That's, I always hear people describe, like, 95 Fahrenheit as hot.
Because, like, I remember being like, oh my god, it's so warm here. And then, like, people in the Discord for that are from America.
Yeah.
They go, what's wrong with you? Are you, like, really bad at, like, retaining, like, or fighting against the heat? I'm like...
No, it's just what you're used to.
No, this is what I'm used to, and I'm in Canada, so our climate... thingamajig is different.
It's interesting how different people from different regions, like, their body reacts to heat differently. Like, their body will literally react differently. I remember when Alejandro came here from Mexico. He's never been in Canada before when he first came here for school.
Yeah.
And I remember the first winter. It was his first time ever, like, seeing snow and being, like, in real life.
Yeah.
Not just, like, pictures of it or movies. And he was, like, so cold on any day where it was only -5, and we would just, like, all of us would be fine because we know how to dress. And Alejandro was so bundled up with, like, 5 layers, and he's like, ooh, and he just, like, couldn't even do it the first winter.
I find it funny when people, like, come from, like, I'd say, like, Nevada.
Yeah.
Like, say Nevada. They're... On one of our, like, average cool days, people are freezing. Yeah. And I'm like, this is a nice day. What do you want about? And like, I complain about this a lot. People make stereotypes about Canadians living in igloos and having pet polar bears and playing hockey all day, every day.
Oh, Lord.
I wish I could be that cool and chilled out, but unfortunately, no. It's summer, just like anywhere else in the world.
It's just not quite as hot, but it's, like, hot to us. But they're the opposite too. Because going back to Alejandro, when we had summer on the hottest of summer days, like 35 Celsius, he was totally fine. That was nothing for him. We were all dying. He'd be making fun of us. Now he's making fun of us for being too hot. But I was gonna say something else, but I forget. Something about weather, I think. I don't know. It's gone. Whatever. But yeah.
Gone like the wind.
Yeah. Oh, right. I remember what it was. Do you want to know what I don't know if I ever told you this. My very first exposure to being stereotyped as a Canadian. I was in 3rd grade in 2003. It was 2002 or 2003. And I was playing Robot Rage on Miniclip. I was huge in Robot Rage. I love that game. And that was the first thing I ever played where you could talk to strangers because there was a chat.
Yeah.
So, at first I would just be like, I'm gonna kick your butt, and they'd be like, bring it, nerd, or whatever, and then we'd fight. But at a point, I kind of started just using that site just to talk to people. I wouldn't even fight them. I would just like find someone with a username about Zelda. I'd be like, yo, you like Zelda? And they're like, yeah. And I would just talk to strangers about Zelda like for the first time. It was really cool. So of course, part of the conversation is like, yo, where are you from? What country? Because I wouldn't say province, because I'm a kid. I don't want to know. But I would always say I'm from Canada. And I remember the first time I said that, one guy was like, so it's like, you got snow there, you live in igloos, right? And he was like a kid who actually thought that. And I was like, blown. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
People watch Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, it was bizarre to me being a kid in like 3rd or 4th grade, like actually interacting with someone who actually thought I was this because that's just what media taught them. It's so weird.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's warm.
That and like Americans all think we have Wisconsin accents for some reason. I mean, like, some places kind of lean that way, like Alberta a little bit, Cape Breton a little bit, but, like, I don't know, we say, like, a boat instead of about. It's like subtler differences. Our OUs are different. Oh, and everybody, don't you know there, bud?
We're from Wisconsin.
Oh, hey, you know, is that what I can't even do it.
You want to go to Tim's, have a cup of Joe.
Have a cup of Joe there, bud.
Have a cup of Joe.
So saying bud is definitely a very Canadian thing. I say ya bud a lot.
I say it, like, unintentionally now.
Yeah.
Like, it's always just been something like, Sam, like, yeah, buddy, hey, bud.
I started noticing recently because I was talking to somebody, I was talking to Robbie about how bud, or I saw Robbie say something about how, like, bud is, like, the most Canadian thing you can say. And then after I heard him say that, I started noticing I use the phrase, buddy, let me tell ya, in my videos a lot. And I'm like, I probably sound really Canadian when I say that, but I kind of like it. Yeah, I kind of like it.
It's part of you.
Might be more of a Nova Scotian thing, buddy. Buddy, let me tell you. Oh, buddy, let me tell you.
What was it? I find I'm also not, like, calling people, like, assholes and stuff anymore.
Yeah.
I think the most degrading thing you can call someone as a Canadian is a goof.
A goof?
like because, like, it's not calling them a clown, it's not calling them a smartass, it's a goof. And it leaves them in, like, this state of, like, what like, is a goof?
They don't know. They don't know if you're insulting them or not.
Because, like, I mean, like, I've used that on Twitter. I'm like, buddy, you're a fucking goof.
You're a fucking goof, bud. Yeah, you're basically saying you're a clown.
Yeah.
You're a dipshit. You're an idiot.
And then they're just like, they don't know how to be aggressive about it. And I'm like Canadian aggression.
Yeah. I always was a fan of Joker. What is Joker? And I got that from Xenoblade. Like, oh, what a bunch of jokers.
I got that off of a news report of this guy who's like a vigilante dressed as Batman. And
I've seen that, yeah.
The old guy's like, he's like, what a joker. And I'm like, I love that video so much.
What was that guy that would just dress up as a Joker? Was it the Santa Cruz Joker? That was a guy on Twitter. I remember, like, having a scuffle with him on Twitter because, like, me and a couple other YouTube friends found him and thought it was ridiculous. And, like, he tried to, like, argue with us or something. His account got banned because he posted some stupid shit. But yeah, there's, and apparently my friend Daniel told me there's, like, other Jokers too. Like, there's people in different cities in the States that just dress up as the Joker and just go out in public and act like the Joker all the time. And, like, some people think they're cool and, like, give them, like, you're so cool, here's, you want this thing, fries or whatever, and then, like, hey, guy bought me some fries, I thought it was a cool Joker. If I saw a guy acting like a Joker in public, I would not go near him. I would think he's a freak.
Especially after like the release of the latest thing related.
This
to
was
Joker.
before. This was before Joker movie.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think the closest thing we had was like that movie theater scare somewhere I think it was in the U.S. where I think someone was like took inspiration from Joker and went to like a theater to start gunning it down.
Jesus.
Like Batman's scary. Like especially when it comes to Joker, because like there are people out there that are.
Yeah.
Just crazy like that.
There's people out there that watch that movie and relate to the main character, and that terrifies me.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That movie was, like,
relating
really
to a character can be a poetic thing, and it can also be a chaotic thing as well.
Yeah. Ever tell you what I thought of that movie? I have kind of mixed thoughts about it.
I still haven't even seen it.
It's fun. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It does a lot of things I really liked, but there's some... It feels like it doesn't treat the audience with enough, like, respect. It feels like sometimes I think you're really dumb. Like, there's this one plot twist where he comes in, and I'll say it very loosely, so no spoilers, where he comes... People watching will know what I'm talking about. He comes in, and then the plot twist happens, you're like, oh, because... Oh, God. And then it shows this scene that happened before, and shows it again without the thing. And then it shows this scene, shows it again without... And spells it out that it wasn't there.
So basically it goes, number one... Number 2.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Get it? Because it wasn't
Number
there
2.
here.
Number
and
3.
That scene it wasn't there.
Number
It's like
4.
I made that connection the moment he walked in the apartment
Yeah.
and the thing happened. I didn't need that. There's a couple of things like that where I just felt like this does the movie think I'm an idiot? I don't know. But other than that, it did a lot of good things.
Yeah.
Like, Joaquin Phoenix was fantastic in it. The scene where he's in his apartment and his 2 friends from work come.
I seen that clip.
The little guy and then the bigger guy.
I felt for that guy.
Oh man, and then he's just like, it's so uncomfortable. Where he's just like kind of smiling at him, and then the little guy just doesn't know what to do, and and he just
because like he tries to play it off where it's like it's a joke, and then it's like I'm trying to make you laugh, and then it's like I also traumatized you.
Yeah.
Because he's like sitting there. It's like I'm not gonna hurt you. Just go. And then he goes that. He scares a guy, and you're watching this small man
Poor guy.
reach for a door.
And
doorknob that he can't reach, and it's locked.
And
then
he has to ask him. Yeah.
And it was like
that was a really scenes like that are really good. But there's other scenes that I just felt were kind of dumb.
Yeah.
So I got very mixed feelings about it. I did enjoy it overall.
Yeah. I seen that clip and I was like, man, I gotta watch this. And then I'm putting this on my watch later list. I guess
it's worth watching.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of parts of it could have been handled way better. Some of it's a little tone deaf in areas, but some of it really does hit the nail on the head. So I don't know. It's kind of wishy. I wouldn't say it's like a 90 on Rotten Tomatoes. I'd say like a 75. I give it a. It's really hot in here. We can't have that on though. That's gonna destroy the audio. That's just a cool break. All right, cool break. God, it's so hot. Oh,
yeah,
we're gonna die. Ah, it's so hot. Ah! Yeah, what's up? What are we talking about now? Let's talk about Nitro Rad, because we haven't got into that yet. We're 20 minutes into this, we just talking about random stuff. That's why podcasting with Brady is my favorite thing, because we hit it off and we just talk.
Hit it off.
Yeah.
And you might scoff.
It's funny, because like when we meet up before the podcast, we'll start having conversations,
and then we're
like, stop, save it for the podcast. This is a really good conversation, save it for the podcast. You had a funny Fortnite story to tell.
Yeah.
We'll get into that right after, but I want to just bring out what I did this month for Nitro Rad. Not much, actually, because we're filming this podcast early, just because you were free. We had the opportunity, and it's like, you know what, let's just get it out of the way so it's not late again.
Yeah.
So this will be coming out the 1st, on time for once.
Yeah.
But we're recording this on the 21st? 21st, yeah. So like 9 days, 10, whatever. I don't know if it's
I got 8
31
days
but...
until I turn 24.
Oh, right, your birthday's coming up.
I'm gonna be
oh my god, I gotta get you something for your birthday.
You don't have to do that.
Of course I gotta get you something for your birthday, dude. You're like my best friend. I don't know what to get you. What am I don't know? I know you better than like most people. I can think of something. It's like when I gotta get like my family stuff for Christmas, it's like, I gotta
I'm
ask
just like,
them,
here's some money.
Yeah.
Like I'm just getting to the point where it's like, I'm gonna give you the money, you buy what you want, because like I'm giving you something that is of value, but it's like, you get to pick that out. I think that's the gift that keeps on giving.
I'll get you something fun. I'll think of something. But I haven't really done much Nitro Rad, 'cause it's only been like a week and a half since we filmed the last podcast.
Yeah. We were very late with the last one just because shit was tough.
But excuse me. I'm right now in the process of working on the Frogger Beyond video. The game's done, script's done. I got about half the script edited and recorded. Or half the script recorded and edited, and I'm going to do the other half, like, probably tomorrow or the next day. So, yeah, it's coming along well. Frogger Beyond, I got a lot of thoughts on that video. I thought it was going to be... I have a lot of thoughts on that video, a lot of thoughts on that game, I meant. But I thought it was just going to be, like, another Frogger game. I thought it would maybe be, like, a 5-page script, maybe 15. I don't know, how much could there possibly be to say about the next Frogger game that's, like... But, like, this video ended up being, like, 8 pages long. It's probably going to be, like, about 20 minutes. A little longer than I expected. I didn't expect to have this much to say about Frogger Beyond. It's because it is easily the most polarizing Frogger game yet. So, most Frogger games I've played, they're either good or bad, or somewhere in between. But this is the first one that's both.
Really?
So the good parts about Frogger Beyond, I'd say, are the best in the series so far. At least all the ones I've reviewed up to yet, because I haven't played the ones after yet. So far, like, the level design, I'd say is super fun. The enemy patterns are really difficult, but they're fair and they're fun and challenging, and that's what I want from Frogger, and the checkpoint system is great. I feel like the checkpoints are evenly spaced out, the pacing's good, and I was having a blast with it. I really, really liked it. But there's so many parts where they try to do something and it doesn't work, and it ends up being a difficulty spike that takes me 4 hours to get by. Jeez. The first one was this minecart level in the snow. I think it was World 4 or World 3. It was like the snow world. And there's this minecart level, and you can tell they're trying to do the whole Donkey Kong Country thing.
Yeah.
But instead of like side on, you're behind it, and you can lean the cart left and right to dodge things on the track, and then you can jump. But the timing for the jumps is so specific, and you have to make so many successful jumps in a row to get to the next checkpoint, and then you have to do that so many times without error, or you're gonna run out of lives. And I got
sounds
stuck
like the Warthog levels of Crash.
Yeah, it was horrible. Jeez. It was so badly designed. There's a lot of things in that game that's also just like really bad at communicating to the player how things work.
Yeah.
That's a game, it does have consistent rules, but they don't always make sense, and they don't really teach the player.
Yeah.
So for example, the minecart thing, there's junctions. It splits off that way, and you're obviously just going to go straight by default. How do you think you would turn left there?
By turning left.
Hold left to lean into it, because that's how those things work. Doesn't work, you just go straight. So I would like kind of tap it, and sometimes I would go over, sometimes I wouldn't, and I didn't know what I was doing wrong until I found out, eventually, what you have to do is wait for the minecart to go past the junction, and then once you're perpendicular to the curving away track, you tap left and he hops over to it.
That is the most asinine shit. Like, literally, if you're going to make someone turn off on a whole... Like, when you have a fork in the road, usually you do that before, not after you already took the lane.
So they have visual cues that are completely contrary to what you have to do. So, for example, in Sonic games, you know to switch... The rails are always beside each other. So the rails don't split off, they're beside each other. So you know... Okay, you press left to hop to the one over the left. You press right. But it's not like that. If it just started like that, and then you would know, okay, tap left and you hop over. But no, it has a visual cue that makes you think to do one thing, and then you just spend hours wondering what you're doing wrong until you accidentally do it right, and you're like, oh, that's how it's done? There's a lot of stuff in this game that's like that. For example, in one of the later levels, this is another example I bring up, there's these jack-o'-lanterns that shoot flames. A line of flames that probably does like 3 or 4 titles in a row. But the jack-o'-lanterns that are spewing these flames are looking left and right.
Okay.
So you would assume, okay, when they shoot flames, they're going to shoot flames the way they're facing. No, they don't. The flames always come out the same way. So, like, I'm doing this, and I'm always breathing fire this way, even though I'm looking this way, and it's... Why have the visual cue of the jack-o'-lanterns looking left and right if it just confuses the player? If it makes me think, okay, I have to... And then it wasn't till like the third time I got by it, because I would like die in a harder spot above it, or past it, and then have to go back and get through that part again. And it was like a third time I stopped and realized, wait, these are always coming out the same direction. So why... there's another part where you get warped into like a space mini game where like Frogger's in a spacesuit, and then like you're going forward, and then you have to like jump between tracks, kind of like grinding and like Sonic Generations. Yeah. But the moment you land on a thing, it warps you there, and you're in front of a wall, and literally 1 second into it, and I'm not even fucking exaggerating, I'll put a clip on screen, you die in less than a second because there's a wall right in front of you. So I didn't even know what happened. I got to the warp pad, and then it goes, and it just cuts to a spaceman for 1 second, and the screen fades to black, and I'm at the beginning of the level, and I had no idea what happened. It happened 3 times before I realized, oh wait, that's me. Because it's Frogger in a different costume. I can't even see his face. He's got a space helmet. I didn't even know that was Frogger in a spacesuit. I didn't even know what was happening until I realized, oh, you just have to press right the second you appear. And all the checkpoints on that track are the same way. I would spawn and die at the checkpoint like twice in a row before I'm like, okay, I gotta mash left when I appear or I'm gonna die. Why do that? There's so many stupid little things like that in this game that drive me fucking insane, and it sucks and frustrates me so much because the level design and the enemy patterns and the challenge, other than that shit, is all really good. It is the most polarizing Frogger game yet, And I kind of like that because it is... I was really struggling to think, like, how am I going to make this Frogger video interesting? But when I started, but when I started playing it, I was like, okay, this is an experience I have not got yet from any prior Frogger games. I've not had a game with this many highs and this many lows. And there's also some interesting things about Frogger Beyond. There's like a Metal Gear reference in there.
Yeah.
I really like the graphics. The cutscenes are actually like really entertaining. They're really weird. Like every world you like meet the next frog elder, and they're all like really over animated, and they're like, you have to go to it's like one of those. You ever watch like a really obnoxiously animated animated film with 3D where like they're always moving every part of their body like way too much? Some of them are like that, and it's like really, it's like, why are you moving so much? But it's so stupid. I kind of love it.
I like that. Anytime I think of like over exaggerated animations, I just think about
Oh yes,
from Sonic 06.
Now imagine that
like times like 20.
Imagine that, but they're also moving their torso and their legs.
Jeez, I don't.
Yeah, it's too much. It's way too much. But
I'll tell you what's too much. This heat.
Anyway, final closing thoughts. I both love and hate that game. But I'm really hoping the games after, like, are a more polished version of that. Because I want my Frogger games to be hard. Because, like, that tile hopping is boring if it's easy. It's arcade gameplay. I like that to be difficult because then it's fun to overcome it. But yeah, it does, and I did get that from it. But there's, Anyway, that's my thoughts on Frogger Beyond. The video will probably be out by the time this podcast's out. So there's a little extended thoughts on it. What are you going to say about the heat? It sounds like you're going to segue away from that.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Alright, great. I actually have a little bit of milk in my coffee because, like, I've been drinking my coffee black lately. I think I mentioned this before.
Oh, yeah.
But I do homebrew, and you were coming over, so I don't have time to make my own coffee. So I always go to Tim's anyway, so I just got Tim's. And, like, Tim's black coffee tastes way worse than the black coffee... thank you. I forgot that was on. Than the black coffee I make at home.
Yeah.
So maybe, like, I'm starting to realize, like, maybe people that can't do black coffee, they just haven't had, like, good, high-quality coffee. They've only just had store coffee. And then again, I'm sure there's other places that have better coffee than Tim's. Tim's is kind of like par coffee. I'm sure, like, maybe Starbucks coffee could... Well, I think the whole appeal of Starbucks coffee is they have so many options to do it.
Yeah.
People probably don't really drink Starbucks, but I don't know. I'm not big into coffee culture, so I don't know much.
I know my brother drinks coffee black when it's like iced coffee.
Oh, yeah.
I know he does that. I don't know about it.
Because the thing about iced coffee, it's a similar idea to, like, drinking chilled whiskey, where, like, cooling it kind of gets rid of a little bit of the bitterness.
Yeah.
I find. Yeah, I've had chilled black coffee, and it is a lot easier to get down, but I'm just at a point where, like, my taste buds just like black coffee, as long as it's the brand I get. But yeah, I got a little bit of milk in this, just to water it down, and, like, I'm lactose intolerant, so usually a little bit of milk doesn't hurt me. But after I started having this, I started feeling like, maybe it is, but no, I just had to poop really bad, I guess, and yeah. I got a bad habit of, like, eating really late at night, so like, I gotta poop in the morning sometimes. I hate that. Yeah. Morning poop.
I hate when you gotta poop, and of course you don't live alone. It's a rush for the bathroom if everyone gets up at the same time. I fucking hate that. And like, classic family movies, they tell the truth when you have to fight for the bathroom, and it sucks.
I forgot that was a thing. I haven't had to do that since college. Yeah, like
because you were put on like a someone else's
consistent schedule.
So.
Yeah, I would have to wake up at like 6 or 7 in the morning, and like that's around when my family's getting up for work. That's when my sister's also getting up for university. And we would have to fight for the bathroom, and I forgot that was the thing. I haven't had to do that in years. Yeah.
Just wake up and you go to the bathroom, you're good. But like if you're on a schedule, if you have to be up and out the door, like.
Do you remember Jacob Tutu?
Yes.
That's one thing I always appreciated about the intro of that show, is it's just showing Jacob's morning routine getting out of the door to go to school. And there's that shot where him and all the siblings are fighting over the bathroom, and they're all like fighting, and right when the brother gets out, Jacob just runs in. It's like, that's so accurate. So accurate.
Yeah.
God, Jacob Tutu was underrated.
It very much was.
I think a lot of people didn't like it because the art style was very French, and it was a little grotesque, a little crude. But past that, I actually rather liked that show. It was not bad. It was alright.
Yeah, no, like, I think back to the art style, and I'm like, yeah, me as a kid, I found it jarring. Like, that's a word I'm using a lot more, is jarring.
It was very
not
jarring.
Weird.
Yeah, Principal... Was it Principal
Just
Prickly?
grossly.
No,
Prickly was
from
Recess.
Principal Greedy Guts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just, like, the way he was just drawn, all the teachers just had this, like, kind of...
Disgusting,
grossness to them.
monstrous zombie look.
Yeah, they were zombie looking.
Yeah.
They almost looked like
corpse.
they almost look like they kind of came out of a cave or a dumpster or something. Like they're not quite human. But that was kind of the point of the show, was to kind of explore how kind of corrupt this shitty, awful school is, run by a bunch of awful like teachers, and the kids just kind of.
But then you see like Jacob's dad and stuff, and they're more human-like.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
so it was just. I think the concept of the show is more so like the people's running that school, just dirty, gross people, and how the kids kind of like deal with that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I did like that a lot, because it was kind of like. It reminded me of when I was in school and how I didn't like school sometimes, and it was just that to like such a drastic degree where the principal's actually just doing straight up evil shit, and it was fun.
He was more of a tyrant than he was a principal, right?
Very underrated show. I don't know if Americans had that. It was a Canadian show. It was a French-Canadian show. It took place in Montreal. Yeah, I remember. Big hockey fan Jacob was.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
As you don't really see a lot of American shows where like the main character's thing is he likes hockey. You see that a lot more in Canadian shows. I remember Being Ian had a show about hockey and all that stuff.
Didn't What's With Andy also have?
Yeah, What's With Andy had hockey. I remember there was one where there was like a prank about a gazebo, not a gazebo, a Zamboni. Dropping a big gazebo over the ice. No, a Zamboni.
Yeah, wasn't that Being Ian, the Zamboni thing?
There was also in Being Ian.
Yeah.
Well, Zamboni's just the staple of hockey. I wonder if Americans like as commonly know what a Zamboni is.
If they watched Deadpool, they would.
There you go. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because Ryan Reynolds is Canadian, and like they were making that a big thing. It was like, we're gonna get run over by a Zamboni.
I remember watching both Deadpool movies, I think last year when I was on a big Marvel kick. Yeah. Like when I was marathoning them all just to watch Endgame, because I was like, I have nothing to do this weekend. I'm just gonna watch every Marvel movie. I don't care. They're all fucking popcorn movies. I don't have to pay terribly close attention to most of them. Yeah. And like some I always thought was forgettable and whatever. Some I really liked, like Thor Ragnarok. Yeah. We've talked about this before. But yeah, I remember watching the Deadpool movies a couple of months later after that, and I remember I liked them, and I thought they were entertaining, but I didn't find them that funny. Yeah, the humor wasn't really my alley. Some jokes are pretty good, and I liked Ryan Reynolds a lot. Ryan Reynolds is just very goofy and charming, but I don't know, I didn't really have many laugh out loud moments. Yeah.
I had chuckle moments, but not like bursting.
Yeah. I had moments where I was like. Yeah,
and I think that's why I enjoy it more. Was I didn't need to laugh so loud just to find something humorous, right?
Is Deadpool Canadian in the comics?
Maybe.
Because Ryan Reynolds is Canadian, and they acknowledge that he's Canadian, but I don't know if that's just like a fourth wall joke or if it's like.
I think it's just him breaking the fourth wall, if anything. Yeah. But if he is, cool.
I know Wolverine's Canadian. Yeah.
Yep.
Just funny they get an Australian to play Australian Canadian.
He has a nice, smooth pair of boys down under.
Yeah.
I remember that line. It was good.
Yeah. You can't compete with what's the actor's name? The guy that plays Wolverine. It's like Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, you just can't compete with his sideburns. Yeah, nobody in Hollywood is.
Those are powerful. Those are powerful.
Like
burns,
he is Wolverine, and he's played him for so long. I think Logan was his last performance as Wolverine.
Yeah.
I haven't watched many X-Men movies. Actually, the only X-Men movie I've ever seen was X-Men Origins Wolverine in theaters, because at the time I had a friend named Aaron who wanted to go see it.
Yeah.
So, like, him and me and, like, a couple other friends, we all went to see it, and I remember, like, there's people so excited for that movie in the theater. You know, like, those big foam gloves you bring to, I saw people with foam gloves with, like, Wolverine things on it.
I remember when I was a kid and I would go to, like, first few Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, like, family night was like, oh, let's go see the new Harry Potter. And I was like, okay. And then I grew up and I don't like Harry Potter now. However, there were people with their laptops playing Harry Potter music, people with the Gryffindor things, people with, like, the gloves, like you were saying. Yeah. Like, there are people that are hyped up about this, and I'm like, Yeah, I mean, that can be for just about anything, whether it's a movie, a video game launch, system launch, you know?
God, that reminds me of something, but I'll get into that after. But it's just, the point I was about to get to is just like, it must have sucked to be so excited for that movie and then see it in theaters.
Yeah.
God damn, I think it was not good. But I guess the Deadpool movies, X-Men movies, it's in the X-Men universe. If you count those, I've seen those too. But I want to see Logan because I hear that's a legitimately fantastic film.
Yeah.
But just the game lineup thing just reminds me. I remember our friend Jamie years ago when she went to go get Mario Kart 8 on launch day. Yeah. Her and her friend Bo went. And they're in line. There's like quite a long line of like maybe 15 people. Not like crazy long, but it was a launch of a Mario Kart game, like in the middle of the day, or the beginning of the day. And they start to try to make a chant and go Mario, Mario, and then nobody joined in. They just felt like idiots.
That's when you go, who are you?
Who are
like,
who are you? What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? If it's not fun, why bother?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why you're going Mario.
You gotta chant Mario, Mario.
Next Mario launch, we gotta do that.
Trust me, I am all for that. I'm gonna. I should have done that during Paper Mario.
Yeah,
just went Mario.
Speaking of Paper Mario, I got that.
Yeah, I got that too.
I played a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about Paper Mario.
So when I got it, I wasn't expecting much. I wasn't even expecting how I'm feeling right now with it. I was like, okay, we're going in. Dude played Sticker Star, didn't like it. Let's see what this is about.
Yeah.
Opens up very nicely.
Yeah.
I was very impressed.
That game's intro was actually really good. Yeah. And I think a big part of why I really like that intro is not just because it's very stylish, it's very engaging, and the writing's really fun. The writing in this game's really good.
Yeah.
I really like the writing. Like, you can... I read an interview that apparently the team really wants to do, like, editing, like, new character designs, but it's Nintendo that won't let them do it anymore. Yeah. But it feels like they're making the best of it, at least. But, yeah, I also really love the Mario RPGs where the main villain isn't Bowser.
Yeah, no, I like that, too, because, like, you knock Bowser out of... And that's been it since even Mario RPG.
Yeah.
Like I love that so much.
And you know why that's so fun is because now that Bowser's not the villain, when he's kicking around in the story somewhere, you can explore Bowser a little bit more, and Bowser just becomes such a more interesting character. He's not
always just like, I'm gonna catch Peach and do this. But.
No pun intended, but he's no longer a flat character.
Yeah.
Now there's a little bit more to him, and it's quirky and fun. Yeah. And when I first found Bowser, and he's just this folded up, dumb little piece of paper, he can't do anything, that was like, this is actually really fun. This is silly.
Yeah, it was goofy.
That said, the battle system fucking sucks.
Yeah,
dick.
It is so in your face all the time about, hey, we haven't did a battle in a while.
Yeah,
look at this.
The tutorials treat you like you're a drooling imbecile, and like, I really hope the battles get more interesting. Again, I'm not terribly far, but I'm like probably 2 hours in, but every single fight is like, okay, I just have to make the two moves that are really obvious, and you just do the right moves every time and win, and it's so easy.
You know, the thing is, like... Here we are saying that, and like I of course, like there's a part of me where it's like maybe it's just because I'm older and I'm so familiarized with this stuff.
I don't know.
Of course, and like I don't know. I don't want to act like an old man. Where it's like this generation just doesn't focus or listen to things. But like I guess you have to get the point across. But like, do you need to do it like that much? Can't I disable that?
It's at least give us an option. Like, hey, have you played a video game before? Yes or no?
Like that's what I liked about the Kirby Superstar Ultra. They did that where it's like, is this your first time playing Kirby? And I'm like, no.
Did they fix that in Superstar Ultra? Because in Superstar, if you clicked yes, it would still do the tutorial. Yeah. I don't know why I don't know if that was like a.
Too bad, bitch.
Yeah, I don't know if that was an error or what, but I remember. Playing that at past New Year's when I was at Robbie's, we just booted up the Switch Super Nintendo app, and we were just like, let's just play a 2-player game, Kirby Superstar, just like we used to as a kid, and it was super fun. But then he was like, yeah, if you click yes, it still plays it. I was like, wait, does it? And I didn't remember that. It's so weird. Why does it do that? Was that like an oversight or something? Or
yeah, because I'm thinking back, and me and my buddy Z, we went and played that on our old YouTube channel. And I remember being like, wait, didn't I click yes? That we have played the Kirby game before.
It still does it anyway.
Yeah, no, it's...
Yeah, god dang.
I'm just like, just give us an option to disable that, because that would make less complaints, and it would still get the point across that you need to learn the mechanics. but the mechanics are dog shit easy.
They're so simple, and I feel like there is potential for an interesting battle system there. And, like, the ideas are cool, it's just the execution is way too rudimentary. But again, I'm still early, so I'm just hoping that battle system gets more interesting. I don't have a lot of faith, though, because I read some reviews, and a lot of reviews agree the battle system's a little too simple, so maybe it doesn't. I don't know, we'll see.
Battle system's definitely simple. Story and the writing, love it. I love it so far. I have to say that, like, I'm not far in it, but absolutely loving it. I got to the point where it was like the trees, and then I got to the mushroom town.
Yeah, the tree part was really cool, and I like the idea that, like, when you interact with, like, a bunch of logs, a log's eyes come out because, like, oh yeah, we're a tree, and it's like, and it feels kind of morbid until they're like, oh no, it's our goal to be burned because of firewood, because then that turns us back to the earth where we can become another tree. So it's like, okay, it kind of seemed morbid at first, but they have like a little cute explanation why it's like that's okay. That's what they want. They want to become more trees.
After you get past that point, because like I was like. When they were doing like the choreographed dance and stuff, I was like, I'm already sold. Yeah. If you're doing that type of stuff, I like that. And then I was like, oh, he's gonna turn into a big buff man, ain't he? Turn into a big buff man. We got to the campground. Yeah. And I remember exploring that, and I was just like hammering around, seeing like where are the toads hiding? Yeah. And I was like, are you hiding in here? And I smacked the speaker, and the speaker dropped, and I immediately went, oh! Yeah. And like I was like, I heard the music.
My girlfriend was watching me play when I did that, and we both looked at each other and just laughed because the music just stopped. Like, there's a lot of fun details. Like, so I'm not impressed by the battle system at all, but like walking around and exploring the world, and like when I was like looking around each corner and finding the toads, like this one toad, there's like just an egg on a table, and I hit the egg unfolds, and it was actually a yellow toad, and I was like, oh, because it's all in. It gets a little clever, so like I'm actually really liking the overworld stuff, the exploration, the writing, just the battle systems.
It
not
drags
impressing
on
me.
It's tiring.
Yeah, it's
that's
not.
The one thing.
I'm not impressed by the battle system so far, but I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't stick with Sticker Star. Wow, that's a pun. Oops. No pun intended. Fuck, that's a... God, I feel like I'm
just go with the joke. Just go with the joke.
Yeah,
even
that
if
was
it's
just
no pun intended.
That was just too bad.
Don't do it.
I mean, I've expressed my opinions on puns, like just stick to what I'm doing. But sometimes it's just that was just too blatant. Yeah.
Stamp it.
No, but I didn't stick with Sticker Star because like I got to the haunted house.
That's where I left off.
And by then I was younger too. I think I was in my last year of high school, and that was the first time I think I played a new entry in a new like Nintendo game that I just didn't really like that much. Yeah. And I just like, you know what? This is I'm not having fun.
I remember playing that when Smash 3D was being launched.
Yeah.
I was playing through that, and it was at the Haunted Mansion. I said, I'm done. Yeah. I'm not playing this no more.
Like, the game just wasn't getting any more interesting.
The most fun I had with it was, I think it was the desert. It was the pyramid. That's the most fun I had with that game, and that is it. Like going through Deckelberg, it was not enjoyable. Then there was the map overlay where it was like okay, cool, Mario level.
Oh yeah, the world map was just like remember Mario World? And I was like, yeah, I do.
I don't know. I like Paper Mario where it was kind of storybook rather than just paper.
Yeah, like
I think we've talked about this.
Yeah, it's like the older Paper Mario games are more interested in exploring like an RPG new take on Mario, where the newer Paper Marios seem to be exploring just a paper version of the same Mario we already know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what made the earlier Mario RPGs so quirky and fun. Like, again, that's why people love Super Mario RPG so much, because it doesn't look like a Mario game, the art style's different, the characters don't really look like they're from traditional Mario games, but they look like they're from Mario RPG, and it kind of has its own identity, and that's what made it so appealing. It's like we're exploring Mario through a brand new lens.
It's an alternate universe in a sense, where it's like things can exist. And I think what it was is with Sticker Star. I remember looking back at like the pre-showings of like screenshots and stuff, and I was like, this is actually going to have to be something cool.
Yeah.
And then
I remember everyone was getting excited because it looked like it was going to be closer to Thousand Year Door, and then it was like I don't know, and that's another sentiment I kind of am sick of, is like, it feels like everyone just wants the next Paper Mario game to be Thousand Year Door again.
Yeah.
But it's like, while I think that would be great, I don't think that's I feel like, because Super Paper Mario came out, and that's actually my favorite Paper Mario game. Because, like, while it is different, it's still interested in exploring a completely different universe that's foreign to Mario and doing interesting, completely wild and different things.
You don't need reoccurring characters. I mean, you
Yeah.
can have, like, an Easter egg here and there.
Yeah.
But, like, develop the characters. Like, make a vast new type of Toads. Like, when like, that's the thing I take from Thousand Year Door, is the character design.
Exactly.
When Nintendo... And the fact that Nintendo's like, yeah, no, we're not doing that no more, that just goes to show they're going for a quick buck, or they just don't care about this, and it sucks.
And yeah, that's definitely hit the nail on the head, because like the reason I like Thousand Year Door so much is not because of the battle system.
Yeah.
Because if it was, I wouldn't like Super Paper Mario.
Because I loved Super Paper Mario's battle system.
Yeah, as long as the gameplay is still fun. Like Super Paper Mario was still a lot of fun, although it was different. So like, if they just, even if the battle system was not the same, as long as they found something that was really fun, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
But this new one's just not really doing it for me. I just realized I'm wearing a Paper Mario shirt. That wasn't intentional at all. I just threw my random shirt. I was actually wearing my Anodyne shirt earlier, but the walk to Tim's just coated me in sweat, so I had to change.
I was actually going to wear my Thousand Year Door one. I had
really?
But I was like, oh no, I'll just wear this one since we need to do that for a video.
But basically all I'm saying is, the reason I don't like the Mario RPGs is because of the turn-based combat. I like the Mario RPGs because you go to a tropical island and fight a 1,000-year-old pirate. I like the Mario RPGs because you're gonna become a slave trapped in a hotel and have to work off a ridiculous... it's fighting this like spider demon lady. And like that's why I like Paper Mario.
Yeah,
so
no, it's just these odd scenarios that can be told in a storybook style.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked. Because originally, wasn't it going to be called Mario Story or something?
It
like
was
that?
in Japan, the first two. Yeah, Mario Story.
So like, that's what you got to do. You just got to stick to like storybook base. You don't need to make it paper crafts, things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Yoshi stemmed off from that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's very crafty.
It's handmade.
Yeah, handmade. Like, it looks like your aunt was doing some quilt crafts and things, and Yoshi just went rampant on it, right? Yeah.
And, like, while I do think that's a fun art style for Yoshi's, like, they've done 3 games like that now, didn't they? They did Woolly World,
Crafted World. I guess you could say like the Yoshi Island games, like I guess 1 and New Yoshi's Island are very like scribble crayon.
You know what? Yeah, Yoshi games have always been hand drawn, and I actually, you know what? They're harnessing that. What I would like from a new Yoshi game though is like the 3D crafted look was really cool, and I thought that was a great direction. But I think they've kind of done the yarn look and the crafted look. If they want to do more handcrafted looks, go back to the 2D crayon, but in full HD. Yeah. Remember when Kirby in the Rainbow Curse did that with the very high def stop motion clay style? That was a really cool look. Do that with Yoshi, but hand drawn chalk look again, or a colored pencil look again, just like Super Nintendo, but just like crisp HD. Yeah. That's what I think they should do with Yoshi next. That'd be really cool.
You know, when it comes to talking with stuff like this, we were talking about Earthbound last time.
Yeah.
Where it was like, if it was like in that like clay style. From its promotional art and things like that. Who would be nice.
Handmade styles are cool. Again, like that's why Hylix 2 looks so amazing, because all the characters are done with stop motion. I found out, I didn't know this, I didn't mention it in the review, but I found this out recently. Apparently the 3D modeled worlds, he actually made them with clay by hand and 3D scanned them. So that's why the world still looks so clay-like. Okay. Despite it being 3D modeled and stuff. Because it was actually 3D scans of actual clay models. Wow. That's brilliant. So brilliant.
Props to that, dude.
Yeah. God, what a incredible...
Because like, I was watching a bit of your Hylix, and I went, I think I'm going to stop, because I don't want to spoil this for me. One way or another, I'll get my hands on it and play it.
Even if you never played the first one, the second game is, the plot's literally the plot of Zelda 2. Like, bad guys are trying to bring the bad guy back, go stop him, that's it. You don't play that game really for story. There isn't really much story. It's like... It's a very simple story told with the most complex, like, bizarre language possible, and it's like... It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, Hylix 2's... That might be my favorite game this year. Yeah. I love that game so much. I mean, if you couldn't tell from my review, that's one of the few videos where I get to get really excited just because of how much I love that thing. The reception of that video was really great. I loved reading through the comments. A lot of people shared my sentiments. A lot of people were really excited about that art style, and it's doing really well. Because usually the indie games don't do as well as like the recognizable properties like Frogger and stuff. The Frogger videos all do well, and the Hylix video started doing average. Because what's cool about YouTube analytics is on my dashboard it shows you, okay, it's been 5 days since you put out this video. Here's how your last 10 videos did after 5 days, and here how it matches up. Okay. So when I first put it out, it was number 6. After a day, it was number 5. So it was hung around number 5 for a while. Now it's still getting views, so it's at number 2. That's just behind the Frogger G. It's like didn't do as well as some of my other videos when I first put it out, but it's holding people's attention longer than some of the other, and it's really, really cool to see a lot of people clicking on like one of the weirder ones, because those are the ones I really want to show people. Is like the weirder games you might not know about. So I was really happy to see that.
Oh, I'm glad.
But one last game I been playing this month is Nioh 2.
Yeah.
I got it on sale. It was on sale, so I thought, why not? Because I really love the first Nioh, and actually, Nioh has a really big spot in my heart because it got me into the Dark Souls games, because I was literally, the reason I didn't like Dark Souls is because the fans were so obnoxious, and I just hated it by extension.
That is a very common reason.
And I wouldn't say that. I would just make up every reason to justify it. I don't like the visuals. I don't like the setting. I don't like the combat's too slow. I would just make up reasons I didn't really believe in.
Yeah.
And you'll see that in my old videos. It was all bullshit. It was just me trying to justify why I didn't like it for petty reasons.
And to shut up these people that kept pushing.
And when I played Nioh, it was different enough from that, so I could separate it from that. But then I realized I really like that kind of game, and I got into Bloodborne, and Bloodborne is my 3rd favorite video game now. Do you know how long it's been since I played a game that I keep coming back to at least once a year and it becomes one of my favorite games? That hasn't happened since Deus Ex Human Revolution in 2011. It is one of my favorite games. And then I played all the Dark Souls games. I don't really like 2 or 3 that much, but that first Dark Souls I really like. So yeah, I just like that kind of game a lot now. And I got Nioh 2. It feels like a pretty safe sequel.
Nioh 2 was one of those... before I go on to that, about Bloodborne, I was telling you about a dream I had a while back, and what do you know? Big Brady strikes again with something that's already happened.
Yeah. You literally described to me this nightmare. He described me this nightmare he had. Practically described the end boss of the DLC of Bloodborne with Orphan of Kos. The
fucking Christ.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I need to stop. But yeah, going on to Nioh 2, that was one of the most quiet launches I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, because you worked
I worked that day, and no one came in for it.
Really?
No one had it pre-ordered. It just kind of shadow dropped in a sense for my area. And
I wonder...
it was only recently when I started hearing people playing Nioh.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess it was kind of a sleeper hit. Maybe when it just came out, people didn't want to pay full price for it. But I think it went down. It's like, I think it's 50 now, not 80.
I believe it was because of the days of play, and then I just decided to cut it.
There you go. Yeah, because that's when I got it on sale.
Yeah.
And I'm really liking it. Again, it feels like a safe sequel, kind of more of the same. You see them recycle a lot of stuff. Like some of the enemies are straight up copied and pasted from the first game. A lot of the animations are identical. A lot of
the assets were brought over.
Yeah, but there's a lot of new enemies. The new yokai enemies are really cool. The monkey guys are really difficult. And I thought they were like impossible at first, but once I kind of get into the swing, it was one of the I thought I was going to be way better at Nioh 2 than Nioh 1 because I have way more experience with these types of games. But it was kicking my ass at first because it was so weird. Like, I'm so used to Bloodborne and Dark Souls now. I'm so used to the slower combat that I had to, like, retrain myself to get back into the Nioh mindset. And by level 2, I was back in the swing of things. And it's interesting how when I first played Nioh, I just wanted to mash the button and do the... And I knew to switch stances and key pulse and do all that. Yeah. But now I'm more interested in the slower weapons. I really like... the first game I played with the axe and the dual katanas, and I was playing this one with that at first. I thought, you know what? I'm going to play with weapons I didn't play last time. So I got the single katana, whatever it's called, the, like, Ugatachi. They have Japanese names, I can't remember any of them. But the Odachi is, like, the big, heavy, long sword. And that thing's, like, kind of slow, but it feels, like, a little more methodically paced in the way that, like, Dark Souls and Bloodborne is. And I'm really, really loving that weapon. I'm getting, like, I know that, I'm a little better at knowing how to play those games too, so I don't just rely too much on the lock-on. If there's 2 gremlin guys, I'm going to switch to my long weapon, not lock-on, and just kind of swing and then play it like a hack and slash for those couple of seconds and then lock on. Yeah, and it's like really satisfying getting back to the swing of things. Again, safe sequel. They added a couple of new things. You can have like these yokai moves where you summon a yokai and they do like one move. The way that's kind of changed, there's like a new counter move where you like summon the yokai that does a move if you see like a prompt for it, like when they do like a red attack, you gotta like time it, and it's super fun. So I'm having a blast with it. Again, kind of safe. Probably not one I'm gonna be my favorite games of the year. Might be probably will be in my top 10 because I am liking a lot. But yeah, good sequel. Not blowing me away, but it's fine. Yeah, I like it.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, with that said, what you've been playing? You had the Fortnite thing you want to mention.
Yeah, no, I picked up Death Stranding again.
Oh, really? That came out on PC, didn't it?
Yeah, no, I didn't buy it on PC. I just started playing PS4 again just because it was like, might as well. And, yeah, just taking my time with it again. Like, I'll pick it up every now and then, deliver a package, and then just go back to playing like Paper Mario or Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see mods for the PC.
Yeah, it's.
I want to see Venom Snake.
I saw some stuff. Apparently, they try to make the PC version as hard to mod as possible because they don't want people toying with real people's likenesses.
Yeah.
And they cracked it in a day anyway. So expect to see Conan O'Brien porn. That's gonna be awful.
Listen. As soon as I seen the models, I was like, facial recognition on all these models, 3D scan, motion capture.
Like, these are these people.
They are literally going to blend from the neck down onto a default.
Porn. Yeah.
You know, people are gonna make
Norman Reedus porn. I feel like Norman Reedus won't care. He'll probably find it funny. Conan O'Brien's gonna be disgusted.
I think what Conan's gonna do, he's gonna be like, I didn't know I was that much of a chick magnet.
You know what? Yeah, he's gonna he'll find a way to make. He'll find a way to make light of it.
But like, I think Norman Reedus would be like, man, you guys are twisted. Like something like that. It's like, you're fucked up.
Conan's sense of humor is always very self-depreciating, so I'm sure he'll find a way to make light of it. Yeah. But God, I could not imagine someone doing something that crass with my likeness. I would be disgusted by that.
I've always had this in the back of my head where it's like, yeah, we're getting you get fan art every now and then. I get fan art every now and then. Who's gonna be the twisted dude? The post something that is.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
And I'm like every now and then I'll occasionally scarcely look it up, and I'm just like, okay, thank God nothing exists yet.
I mean, I just try not to pay attention to it. I mean, if I ever see it, I'm just gonna ignore it.
I'm just gonna look away with a moment of being freaked out.
Yeah, I don't think you should ever draw porn of real people. I think it's a little invasive. It's a little like, I feel like that should just be one of those unwritten rules. It's just a little, it's just gross. Yeah, man. Like, that's a real person,
you should definitely keep your fantasies to yourself and keep it private. Like, I mean, freedom of speech, but please don't
I mean, it's one thing. Someone. Sharing your fantasies about a celebrity is one thing, but like, bringing it to that level is a bit much. It's a little disrespectful,
especially to them, and posting it to the public like that.
God,
it's complicated.
But either way, the modding scene for that game is going to be pretty wild because I want to see people playing as BB, like a little tiny baby punching guys. That's going to be hilarious. I can't wait for that stuff.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So Fortnite, I was playing that again. Every now and then I'll start playing it. I
mean, Fortnite gets a lot of hate, but it's fine. It's fun. It's free. Yeah. It's something to do.
I'm trying to remember which story I was going to tell you now. Oh yes. Okay, so there's this new mode that was introduced called Blitz mode.
Yes.
Basically what that is the storm, which is the circle of out of bounds, where you need to remain in the circle or you'll get eliminated because your health depletes.
Yeah.
Some people don't know that with Fortnite, so I got to explain that.
Yeah.
The fact that I know that is very, very compelling from how I felt about Fortnite a long time ago, where I was like, I fucking hate Fortnite. Fortnite's dumb.
Yeah.
Fortnite's for babies.
Well, again, it's one of those things where I hated it because I associated with a certain type of person, and I would make up reasons I didn't really believe in to justify that I hated it. Yeah. And then I actually tried it, and I'm like, this is actually kind of fun with friends. It's whatever.
Yeah. And so, Blitz mode, you basically have to just keep moving, or you land in the most hot area and try to survive. I go to where I'm out of the circle, and the storm's coming, because the storm's not going to eliminate me from day one. So I go to a closest spot that has a fishing area. I grab the fishing rod, I find a gun, I use all the rest of my slots up until the final circle for fish and slurp fish.
Oh, just to survive the storm.
Because the storm doesn't stop As soon as it reaches the checkpoint, it keeps going.
Because normally it closes to the checkpoint, and then you get 2 minutes before it starts closing again. This
so it just goes. It goes.
Closing.
Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
So this giant circle goes into nothing.
So you got to go way
so
faster.
I'm watching these 2 people fight to the death, trying to build, and they're building, and they're building. I crawled. I just crouched and I snuck into their building.
Oh.
Sat on steps, listening to them. Went through 12 fish and 1 slurp fish. They all died. And then, of course, when they die, it cuts to the next spectator. And I was the winner. I didn't kill anyone that match.
Did they both?
I just ate fish.
Oh, you just stayed in the storm, right?
I just stayed in the storm. I stayed close to the storm. I got a boat, and I kept going, eating fish.
I misunderstood. So the storm closes into nothing, so you're all in the storm.
So it's whoever has the most health at the end is the winner.
That's such a good strat.
It's not always about killing. It's about who can eat the most fish.
It's about strategy.
Yeah. And so
you're sitting there munching away.
Yeah, I'm sitting there munching away watching a show, and they're probably breaking their switches, punching their computer screens, flipping their PS4s, flipping their tablets, and like I'm just there like I'm a kitty.
Oh, because you got that cat skin.
Yeah, I freaking love the cat skins in Fortnite.
That's one thing you got to give Fortnite credit for. They didn't at the beginning, but it feels like now that it's come a long way.
Diversity.
They must have hired a lot of artists that just make like some of the skins are really stupid and fun. Like the cat head with just on like a muscular body. That is like. I laughed so hard when I saw that skin. Like, if I played Fortnite enough, I would try to get that skin.
I think, similar to the Banana Peely, Meowscles is going to be a very prominent, repetitive character we're going to see.
Kind of like Cuddle Team?
Yeah, Cuddle Team. We have Cuddle Team, we got Peely, and now we have Meowscles. And I noticed...
You know all the names of them and everything.
Like, the fact that I can go into work now and just basically be like, oh yeah, talking to the kids about Fortnite, and they
that's
love
good.
it.
That's
they
good.
Love
that's
it.
Awesome. That's actually really cool.
Last time I went to buy V-Bucks, I went through the extra trouble of getting one of the cards that's now released. They have, like, cards, went how to enter it in, and now I know how to tell the kids how to do that. And
there you go.
It makes it easier on the parents because they're like, what do you mean eShop money?
Yeah.
Why can't I just get V-Bucks? And I'm like, well, now you can.
Yeah.
Please stop asking.
So you would have. So before, if you wanted it on Switch, you probably would have had to buy an eShop card. I basically have to tell them, enter in this code. It's gonna be in your wallet, in your eShop. You're then gonna launch the game. Yeah. You can then go through the shop there. It'll prompt it into the eShop. You buy it there with the money. Hopefully you'll have enough, and there you go. That's such a process.
Yeah.
Right? And
now
and parents that don't know that
shit. Just go on Fortnite.com/VBucks card and enter the code. Select which system you have it linked to, and there you go. Bam.
There you go. That's easy.
Done. Easy for your parents.
Yeah.
Get you your money so you can buy whichever emotes and rad dancing. But yeah, no, I did stuff like that, and like Fortnite has changed quite a bit because I remember looking at like really season 1, and like they had like a mall district where like they had statues, and there was like an emote where you can actually just like freeze, like it's like, and someone did that and eliminated someone who was down, like they killed them, like they were on a hunt.
See, it's moments like that that make that game really fun. Yeah, and a lot of people like to denounce battle royales just because it's the popular thing. And again, I feel like it's just me with Dark Souls. They decided they hate it and they make up the reasons after, even if they don't. And I feel like that game is a little more interesting than people give it credit for. Yeah. Because every time I play it, I sometimes I have one of those like, wow, this could only happen in a game like this moments. Like I remember one time I got that plunger gun, and this guy had way more ammo than me, and I was reloading. He was chasing me around a house, and I was gonna die. So I plungered, right when I got around the corner, I plungered over the roof so he couldn't see me, and then he's like running around, and to him, I just vanished. And I was behind him, and I got him. Yeah, that was cool.
I've done things like that. Like I remember when we started playing it again this season. You're like, I haven't played it in a while.
I played it with you.
I'm gonna update it. I'm gonna boot it up, and I was like, okay, let's do it. I got the plunger gun, and you and I think it was Mark. We're like, Brady, oh, go, go, whoa, oh, he's right there, and I'm just going.
would love to. Yeah, I see.
Shooting my tactical shotgun and going around. I can't build for the life of me, but I will hunt you down if you fire at me.
That's the one thing I actually don't like about Fortnite is it's so unbalanced. If you're, you can only really get good at building if you're on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a keyboard and mouse for that.
Yeah, you have to be either a survivor with a gun, a stealth man with a gun, the waiting game, or the builder. And it's like...
And the thing about it is, I find the gyro aim gives you such a better advantage. Like, I can snipe guys with pistols with gyro aim. It's so good.
I'm so scared about doing gyro aim. I don't know. I don't know if I can actually...
I can only do it in handheld mode. I can't do it with the controller. Because it feels like Ocarina of Time, like shooting the Octoroks. It feels like that. And I've gotten really good at it. But yeah, when my girlfriend and I just need something to do, we got nothing to do, we'll just play a couple Fortnite games.
We should definitely play that again.
Yeah, I've gotten a little better at it. A little bit better. That'd be fun.
Hell yeah.
So with that said, you want to move on to podcast questions? We're like an hour, or not an hour. We're just over an hour into this. I almost said an hour and 40. No, we're an hour 10.
We're about reaching question time.
Yeah. So let's get to the questions. How many do we got? I put them out just last night, so we got 15 posts here. Okay. First question's from Chris. Sorry if you've been asked this before. Well, I just feel that's another Canadianism. We say sorry instead of sorry.
Yeah.
Americans say it like it's more of an A noise.
Sorry.
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 Yeah. I remember my friend Nathaniel pointed that to me. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry if you've been asked this before, but what typically is the process for deciding on which games or game series you're going to cover for a Nitro Rad video? Do you tend to focus more on games you're already familiar with? That's the thing about when I first started Nitro Rad, all of the games were games I was familiar with. They were all something I grew up with. So I did Yume Nikki, which I played a lot in high school. I did Gex, which I grew up with Gex 2 and 3. I grew up with Rayman, grew up with Star Tropics, grew up with Tasmanian Tiger. And then I kind of ran out of stuff that I knew a lot about because I grew up with. So I just kind of kept those genres and started just looking in the comments for games I've never heard of, and then I continued tackling that. Sometimes
I'm sorry, I looked over and I see podcast questions.
Oh yeah, podcast questions! I don't know, I got a little fun with it this time.
I was just thinking questions.
Yeah. But no, I more or less just kind of do whatever I feel like at the time. Because Nitro Rad, honestly, is kind of like a personal journey. For me, I just want to know what all these games are. And like making videos about them is like, well, I come out of this game knowing like a little bit more than the average person because I do a whole video about it, I think a lot about it, and I take notes and stuff, and yeah. So I guess any game where I'm like, I really want to know what that is. So that's what the Frogger series was. The reason I decided to do Frogger is I was at a point where I had most of the Frogger games. I'm like, okay, I'll just buy the last like 2 or 3, and then, you know what, I just want to know what all these games are. So that's when I start tackling it. So it's more so games. I just really want to know what that series is and get in that.
Curious about it.
Something I'm really curious about.
Well, I mean, you were saying that last podcast about like snowboarding games.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Because that's the exact same thing. Because I grew up with like 4 snowboarding games, and I loved all of them. I had Snowboard Kids, I had SSX Tricky, SSX 3, and I played a lot of Twisted Edge, and I loved all those games. But the thing is, like, there's so many more snowboarding games than that. I want to know what they all are. I want to know how they can all be different and bring something different to the table. So it's literally just that. Anything I'm curious about at the time, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really think too hard about it sometimes. Sometimes I just do it on... Like, when I did Billy Hatcher, I was like, hi, Billy Hatcher. Yeah, let's do Billy Hatcher. Why not? That'll be a good way to start the year. So it's kind of like impromptu out of nowhere sometimes, but usually it's whatever I'm most curious about at the time. Mr. Businessman asks, growing up, what were some of the playground video game rumors you believed or told? Things like Mew Under the Truck or Sonic and Melee.
Oh my
I have a really good one.
I have one where this fucking kid, his sister was in my grade, so I knew him through her. And he was going on, he used to call Super Smash Bros. Melee. Melee.
Oh no.
And he would always tell me about the event mode.
Yeah.
basically, if you were to fight on the trophy battles on Majora's Mask or the Goomba, I think it was, you can unlock Goomba as a playable character.
Oh, of course.
And that is the most IGN rumor BS I would see in the early 2000s.
Game
and I'm
Facts forums.
You're a fucking goof.
Yeah, but...
And like he's like, yeah, if you play for 20 hours straight, similar like the Mewtwo, you can unlock Goomba as a playable character, and he's the most powerful character. And I'm like, did you do it? And then they go, no, I don't have enough time to do that. And I'm like, it's not real. And they're like, yeah, it is. Goomba's real.
When I was a kid, I was a hardcore believer in Luigi and Mario 64.
Me too.
Yeah, but aside from that, I remember this one this one lunch period, because it was the year I stayed at school for lunch, and that's when I met Robbie. And Robbie spent this whole lunch convincing the friend group, is like 4 or 5 of us at the time. He spent the whole lunch convincing all of his friends, including me, that he saw someone playing this game called Sex City, because this is back when we were like 4th grade. We just found out what sex is. We haven't had sex ed yet. That doesn't come till like 5th grade.
Yeah.
And Robbie was like, yeah, I saw a game called Sex City. This guy was playing it. It was on Dreamcast. He just picked a console he knew none of us had, right? So it was on Dreamcast. And like, we all just believed this guy was playing this, like, R-rated video game in, like, a store kiosk in, like, HMV or something. And he told us the whole plot where it's like, yeah, you're in, like, a nude city where everyone's naked and you gotta, it's like an RPG. And it was like, he just made it all up and we all believed him. And I remember like a couple months later, he told us it wasn't real, and we were like, "Whoa, really?" And we were surprised because we were dumb kids, right? Other than that, I remember convincing my friend Dylan during a recess that you could unlock King K. Rool in Donkey Kong 64's multiplayer, because you could unlock Crusher. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, you know how Crusher shoots the explosive oranges? King K. Rool shoots like the spiky crowns out of his gun. He's got like he's got the blunderbuss from the DK Country
Well,
games.
you know, that became an actual thing later down the road.
You throw in the crown.
There you go.
Yeah, so I predicted K. Rool's move in Smash, I guess.
You know, I mean, talking about that, I think that is probably one of the most pleasing things to watch in a new model, is to do an animation like that. Because, like, I remember having to memorize the timing of the final boss in DK Country, and just, like, seeing him, like, a beautiful HD model just going
doing that motion, and you're the one doing it.
And I'm like, I'm finally the boss.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love that. Another rumor was Waluigi and Mario DS.
Yes.
Mario 64 DS. That was the biggest rumor, similar to Luigi, where it's like, the white carpeted door, that's secretly Waluigi's door. You have to get all the bunnies. You have to go talk to the King Bunny. You have to do this. You gotta do that.
All this
you basically gotta have 999 coins. You gotta go talk to...
you gotta get everything in the game.
You have to talk to every toad in this specific order. You gotta chase the ghost, gotta eliminate the ghost, run back, and then you get the final star, go to the door, and then you unlock Waluigi. And I'm like, no, you get ghost laughter and Mamma Mia!
Yeah.
And that's...
Goddamn. Yeah, I miss that stuff.
People are finally starting to get to a point where they can actually mod a model of Waluigi in 64. Like, I mean, they're remaking whole, like, new games with it, like Super Mario 128 and stuff like that.
I remember there's Waluigi's Taco Stand. You can actually buy a cartridge of that. But yeah, do you want to move on to the next one?
Okay. Thanks for the question, businessman.
I Love My Dad says, do you ever want to do bigger things with your channel? And if so, what? Also, Brady, what's your favorite Bomberman game? Do you want to go first?
Really, the only Bomberman games I played were the Bomberman Party one on PS3.
Oh, really?
And Bomberman R. Yeah. And I like Super Bomberman R.
I think I played a little more Bomberman as a kid than you did.
Yeah.
I played Atomic Bomberman on PC, and I mentioned in my Bomberman Hero video, I explain all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for stuff doing my channel, I don't know, because, like, what is bigger than a game review? And if I try to do too much more than that at some point, when does it stop being what people are watching for?
Yeah.
That was one sentiment I always had in my head when I was watching, like, Angry Video Game Nerd videos, where he kind of deviated from the review a little bit to kind of do a thing. Like, I remember really not liking the Rob the Robot episode when it came out, because, like, he explained Rob the Robot and reviewed it, and it was cool, but it seemed like he was more interested in having, like, a VFX fight against, like, a robot thing than he was, like, actually talking about the source material. Yeah, I don't know if as far as like if reviewing snowboarding games and diving into another genre at some point, if that's bigger, then sure, I'd like to do that. I don't know. I feel like at some point I do want to get like a proper background. Like instead, this is just I'm just in my bedroom, and it's just the shit on my bedroom wall.
Yeah, this is your workspace.
But I want to make like a proper set when I finally have my own house, my own place. When I'm fucking 38 and I can finally afford it because the housing market in 2020 is impossible.
Yeah.
No, I'll probably have my own place within 2 years. I'm starting to get there. But yeah, like I want to make a set. So maybe that. Yeah, I'd like to make a proper set. I have like a painted background with the palm trees, which is still the Mike Jones painting. Yeah, I'd like to do like a set. Maybe there's one way, I guess. Yeah, do you want to do next one?
I think that would be very badass. I'm just thinking about like your banner as like your background.
As the background,
that's cool.
On. I want to do that. Yeah.
Speaking about Bomberman, Brady's Bomberman's the lie. I'm not that much into Bomberman.
Yeah.
All Bombermans are good. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, we just needed something that was like
pretzel.
Some things is the same.
We have a lot of Bomberman.
I was like, I got a lot of Bomberman games to do that. Mr.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Awesome asks, I remember a while back you mentioning recently getting a Saturn. What games have you played on it so far? We've played Bomberman Saturn, we've played Sonic Jam, and we haven't played much else because it's kind of a pain to hook up and get working. My controllers don't work super well, so you have to really fiddle with them to get them working.
Yeah.
I think I have some RGB cables for it now. Someday I want to review Saturn stuff, but Saturn games are insanely expensive.
Did you buy Knights?
I have Christmas Nights.
Okay.
Yeah, we still haven't played that.
Cool.
But sometime we do got to get that Saturn hooked up again and play some more Saturn stuff. Because someone donated me a bunch of Japanese Saturn games. Yeah. A lot of them are RPGs, which I can't play because of text.
You can't read.
But there's some fighting games in there. They got like one of the Marvel, I think Marvel.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe it's like X-Men fighting. It's not. I don't think it's Marvel vs. Capcom, but it's one of the Marvel fighting games before that. Or maybe it is Marvel vs. Capcom. I don't remember. But yeah, I haven't really played much on Saturn. But sometime we definitely got to go back and try some more.
Absolutely.
Morgan asks, what do you think about fan games, and what's your opinion on Sega allowing fan game developers to make Sonic Mania and Nintendo shutting fan games down?
I think Nintendo is pushing away their fans by doing that.
Yeah.
I understand to a legal degree, like selling it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But games that are inspired by things that you've played, things that you love, you should welcome that type of artistic vision.
Yeah.
Because, like, are you really offending someone by making a whole new stylized version of A Link to the Past? Or, like, Metroid, Samus Returns.
Yeah.
Like, those are projects that were in the process of being made, and Nintendo was like, absolutely not. Stop it. Guess what? We're going to take all that, and then we're going to make our own, and then we're not going to do anything with this ever again.
I think it stems from a lot of Japanese business culture, which is very different than how we view it in the U.S. I hear them talking about it on certain podcasts, how like Japanese work culture is a little different. There's like honor involved or some shit like that. And I think because of that, Nintendo has like a very big misunderstanding of what it means to protect your IPs. And they're going about it the wrong way. I think fan games are great. Some of the most interesting projects I've seen have been fan games.
Yeah.
People just... Do you remember Super Mario, like, 63 and a half or whatever?
Yeah.
That side-scroller game with the flood jet. That was a really cool fan game. There's stuff like that. And I think it's... when you find something that really speaks for the amount of passion the people behind that project have for that game... When you want people who really love something to work on it, because then you know they're going to try their best and make it into the best version of that as they can. Yeah. Instead of just kind of like, we're just doing the frickin' this game, we're going to pay guys just to get it done. You know, it's not like a Ubisoft churned out thing. It's going to be people that are really... I think that's awesome that Sega did that. I think Sega's a little more willing to do it though, because like I feel like they're starting to get aware of their own like inability to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like as soon as Sonic Mania came out, my depiction of that was, we don't know how to make a 2D Sonic game anymore. Yeah. And then the fans were like, Christian Whitehead was like, let me step in for a second. Yeah. What if I were to pitch this to you? And then they were like, you know how to do that. Let's do it.
Yeah, well, it
Let's
started
see-
with him remaking Sonic 1 and getting the physics perfect. And
fan game resumes are probably one of the best things to have, because
though there is the other side of the spectrum where Nintendo hired this man.
Yes,
the people
absolutely.
that just import
because
Mario Galaxy
we
models
were looking
to
at that
Unreal
yesterday. We were looking at that yesterday, where it was like just like Unreal Engine stuff, assets. Yes, these things look beautiful. However,
it clashes.
It's like
because
you're things that you're using that are from Unreal Engine, and things that were sourced in from the original material.
And they don't go together. It's like Unreal's lighting and shaders look really good, but they don't look good on Mario, because you get this uncanniness where you're not used to light reflecting off of Mario in that way. Like, his skin's looks too like realistic instead of like a cartoony reflection.
Do you remember when they were using the Brawl Mario model and they were trying to remake Mario 64?
Yeah.
Like that's the type of stuff that like they were doing, and I was like a very cartoony Mario-esque game with a very T for teen, edgy, dark, not as colorful model of Mario.
It's like this. It's like
because he's the highest quality thing you got right now.
Exactly. You're like it looks impressive at face value, but when you get deeper into it, you realize that there's like not much artistic intent there. It's like it's not a matter of let's choose a style that works for these character designs. It's like, no, I'm just gonna throw them in Unreal and use whatever Unreal makes it look like, and it looks bad a lot of times. That said, though, that Mario 64 remake project that's remaking the game to look like the promo art,
because
that looks awesome.
But see, the thing is that is inside the game itself, right?
Yeah.
Nothing has changed. Everything is fitting. It's literally, it feels like one of those scripted commercials with the higher resolution renders and things like that, where it's like maybe a 10-second clip of Mario being like, "This is how I beat Bowser, doing this and that."
It looks like the way you kind of imagine the game to look back then, but Mario still doesn't look quite modernized. He still looks like his goofy, like the skin color was a little, the skin white balance was a little bit off, and the model kind of had this weird like crudeness to it.
Almost creamy color.
But you look at that project and you see they thought a lot about how to make this look instead of just throwing it Unreal. And I think that's the fan games that are really, really freaking cool.
Rather than recreating, I guess.
Instead of just
it's touching up.
Exactly. Yeah. Instead of recreating something and modernizing it, you go back and turn it into something interesting. It's like
revising it,
and it's true to those that promo art, and it's super cool.
And like when I see that in motion, I'm like, this is so jarring, because like this should be a static image on the box art telling me to buy it, and I'm playing that right now.
Yes,
and it's super cool.
That's what it looks like, and that's a cool sensation that you don't get just by throwing models.
When I see that, I also get greedy with the idea of implementing those models. Like, I've seen people mod in Wario's, like Mario Party head. I would love to see a 3D render recreation of the Mario Party Wario and Mario Party Luigi, and then you could see those guys in that type of style. That is my greed for that. Cool. But like, holy crap! Even Bowser, like the bloodshot, strain on his eyes.
I'll throw in
from those eras.
Yeah, I'll throw in some footage so you can see.
I absolutely love that stuff. It's good.
There's definitely a wide spectrum of fan games. There's good and bad, but like, there's definitely a lot of passion from these people, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the next one. Dylan Coates asked, if this hasn't been asked before, what gear do you use to film your videos? Camera lenses, lighting, etc. If I've already answered it, what's a game you'd like to see made that is a combination of two genres that haven't really been mixed together? Well, I mean, I've been asked that question, but I mean, we do so many podcasts, they're going to come up, so it's fine. I don't mind answering the same question like a couple podcasts down the road, because you never know who's watching and who's not. But I use Amaran LED panels. Let me grab one of these. Ooh. Screw this thing off. I got 3 of these guys. Amaran LED panels. They're rather inexpensive for how like tactile. They're really light. There's like dials to adjust it. My key light actually has a second dial where you can adjust the color temperature, so you can change it from warmer, like the orangish kind of vibe, or like to the cooler, like the white and the blue.
Tad more expensive, I would say.
Those ones are more expensive though, but you can get these ones for maybe like a couple $100.
Yeah.
These are great. They're very light. They're battery powered too, so you can charge them up, and then you can like bring them outdoors, and they might last like maybe 40 minutes to an hour. These things are awesome. What else? Camera, I use a Panasonic Lumix GH5. I use a 20mm lens to film Nitro Rad. 45mm Olympus lens is what I use to film those pretty close-ups. I talk about all this in my Umurangi generation video, actually, so if you want to get like a little closer look on the camera I use and the lenses and like kind of how that changes things, watch my Umurangi generation video.
I'm there too.
Yeah, and I used you as a subject for a little photography
My face goes
workshop.
bonk.
Yeah, bonk. My face goes bonk. Too.
Yeah, his face goes bonk too.
Yeah. That was actually whose idea was that? Was that Brockrock's idea to put a coconut bonk? For like
I think that was me.
It might have been your idea.
I was like, you know what? I like the coconut sound effect.
Yeah.
It goes clunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was me.
But what was the other question we had? What's a game we'd like to see made? There's a combination of two genres I haven't really seen. I don't know. I feel like there's so much that has been done. It's kind of hard to stealth puzzle. I don't know. How could that work? I don't know, man. You got anything? I just want an Animal Crossing Puzzle League game, like a standalone one, not just a mini game in the 3DS version.
I'm not gonna lie. I would like to see a Mario Battle Royale.
How would that work?
Just
Platforming
using
Battle
items
Royale.
like you got flood, you got turtle shells, you got items, fire flowers. Use a piranha plant.
I never thought of that.
I think that would be really cool because you could have like
Yeah.
a select amount of characters, like the base characters, like Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, this and that, blah blah blah. They all have different stats.
Yeah.
Then you got like heavyweight classes that could be like tanks. Like you got Bowser, Donkey
Yeah.
Kong, Charging Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like-
would the gameplay be like a platformer, and you gotta like take out the other guys?
Yeah, like so. Similar to Fortnite.
I guess Fortnite doesn't have like
I
a ton
think-
of platforming.
Yeah,
though,
but like
you know?
definitely it would have like
It would have to be like
platform
it would have to be like
Yeah.
a lot of obstacle courses. How about it's like kind of like Mario 64's floating levels. So you gotta it's like big and you gotta get to the center. It's a matter of knocking people
Yeah.
off with the different power ups.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Something like that could work. Yeah. So Battle Royale platformer. I don't know. I don't really know how that would work, but there's a basis of a cool idea
Yeah.
there for sure. Next question is from Mushgo. What barely known horror games would I recommend? I just bought an old PS1 and PS2, and I'm looking for obscure and forgotten horror gems for my collection. Basically, every obscure horror game I know about, I have reviewed. Fatal Frame 2 is probably one of the best PS2 horror games you can get. That's not a Silent Hill game. PS1 horror. I can't really think of many. I haven't played that many PS1 horror games outside of Silent Hill and like Resident Evil. Man, I don't really know. I pretty much covered everything that I know about. So, sorry. I just look through my horror games playlist and you'll find everything. The only like obscure horror games I can think of that I could recommend are like on stuff like Yomawari and Yumeniki stuff that's on PC, not older stuff. But
Play the Grinch on PS1.
that's probably scary. Yeah, Jim Carrey Grinch kind of scary looking.
It
Yeah.
scared me as a kid.
He did scare me. The part with the termites in his teeth. I just
Oh,
yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like it
thinking
either.
about
Johnny John asks, is there a game as of recent that you buy without looking at screenshots or gameplay videos and based on aesthetic or scenario alone? While it is advisable to look through beforehand if the game is worth it, but I do love being genuinely surprised if the game is really good, especially if it barely talked about. What is a game? I know I've done that. I used to do that in high school back when I first got a PS3, and I got a PS3 like a little late after the generation was halfway through.
Okay.
And I would just, like most games like from the first half of that generation were already $20. So that was actually what I did with Deus Ex Human Revolution. I didn't know anything about the game other than it was a stealth game and it was in first person. That's all I knew. I didn't even know you had augmentation power-ups. I heard it had RPG elements, but that could mean anything at this point, so I took that with a grain of salt. So I literally just thought the robot guy in the cover looked cool and I kind of like the cyberpunk aesthetic.
Yeah.
So I got it and it ended up being one of my favorite games. What about you, Brady?
I think the most recent one I did was Pixar for the Switch.
Yeah.
I played 5 minutes of that and I went, this was a bad idea.
Pixar?
Yeah, Pixark.
Oh, Pixar?
Not Pixar.
It's Pixark.
Pixark is Ark Survival, but it's
Oh,
like
that game.
Minecraft style,
That
like
game.
very pixely.
Yes, I see.
And like I picked it up for $19. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
let's see what this is about. Played like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was not for me. I then took advantage of that $19 game that came in for like a no trade value.
Yeah.
when something dropped, I immediately traded it in. I got $10 value out of it, so I was like, "Oh, it was $9 that I wasted, but hey, I put it towards something else."
Actually, I thought of another one. I think the most recent example would be either Hypnospace or Anodyne 2. Because I remember seeing... Yes, it was Anodyne 2, and Anodyne 2. I remember seeing screenshots and gameplay of it, and this was before like I really knew Sean or Marina. And I remember I just thought it looked... It was like the PS1 aesthetic, and it was like this crunchy, like low-res look, but with like shaders that you don't usually see on PS1, and it looked beautiful, and I just wanted to play it based on just the visuals alone, and that got me into Anodyne 1, which I'm like, well, let's check out the first one, not even knowing what it was at all, and I ended up like loving the crap out of Anodyne. I didn't even know Anodyne 1 was like a Link's Awakening clone when I first played it. I had no freaking idea. And it was similar with Hypnospace. I kind of had a better idea of what you'd be doing in Hypnospace, but like Hypnospace I just bought because I thought the internet aesthetic looked cool as hell, and it ended up being one of my favorite games that year. Yeah. You want to go to the next one?
Granny Green, hot butter ice cream.
God. I also got it because I knew Hot Dad was in it, and I was a big fan of Hot Dad.
Hot Dad's cool.
Hot Dad's great. Heyman Aga asks, I am a new patron, so excuse me if I ask questions that you already answered. Again, it's fine. I'm a huge fan of Garanicor, and I would like to know how you usually come up with these wacky ideas. Do you brainstorm together, or was James usually the script writer? I think it's really cute that you think we write scripts. We've never written a script for Garanicor, ever. We, like, improv, like, most of everything. We usually just make up a general concept and have an idea what's going to happen, but we usually just make it up as we go along.
Yeah, like, there's so many videos where it's like we had like maybe a gist of like what to do, and then from like the first take everything is just improvised.
Yeah.
Titles are improvised, like literally while we're editing. They're like, "What are we gonna call this?" When we were doing a Chris Hansen one, it was because like you and me, we watched a lot of Dateline NBC, where it was just like the clips of the predators getting caught because we had nothing else to watch. It was that or
like America's Got Talent.
Yeah, America's Got Talent, right?
Yeah.
And so when we were doing this, you were like, "What are we gonna call this?" I was like.
Because it was a Crazy Taxi video, and To Catch a Predator video.
Yeah, and I was just like, To Catch a Taxi.
To Catch a Taxi,
and James's eyes lit up.
Yeah,
he was like...
Such a good title. A lot of the weirdest videos we've done, though, are usually based on Alex's dreams.
Yes.
All my favorite videos, like Pizza Prophecy, those, like, Alex would just have a dream that was really weird, and it would either be like, maybe not do exactly what the dream was, but at least the idea would come from the dream. Yeah. Pizza Prophecy... was actually based on Alex's dream. And the dream wasn't that was happening. The dream is that we were filming that video.
Yeah.
So it's not so much like he has a weird dream and that's what happens. He has a dream that we film a weird thing, and that usually gets him an idea. Alex would take a lot of inspiration from his dreams. That's why we haven't had, like, any super wacky videos concept-wise, because Alex moved to Montreal, so we don't get to see him much now. But yeah, like, that's usually where it comes from. We just make it up on the spot. I remember the Wrecking Crew video, the Nuclear Gaming. Like, we were just looking. I was literally looking around my bedroom, like, I don't know. What if you're trying to play Wrecking Crew, and every time you put it in, it's back on the shelf, and you get mad. And then we just made it up. We started with just a general concept, and just made it up. We never have an ending. Whenever we just have to make it. It's like, well, what if this happens and that, and then it just cuts.
I was like, what if it just turns the golf and then
what if it just turns the golf and then it just ends? But yeah, it's like, it's the most scatterbrained approach ever. But I mean, we do it for fun. So it's
and I think it does take away from the creativity when we do have to be scripted. Right? So we get kind of wacky with it.
And that's the best part of it is that when there's three of us together, we can all be like, what if the next scene's this? And then we all laugh, and we're always making it up together. But yeah, that's how we make Grindcore videos. Tactical Tuna asks, were you ever self-conscious of how I sounded when I had braces in the video, even though it doesn't sound grating, it's noticeable on mustard? Yes. Oh god, you have no idea. Especially in the videos that were close to after my oral surgery, I had a really bad lisp. The Voodoo Vince video and the Zootopia review I did are the two absolute worst, and when I go back to those videos, I just want to cry. Like, no, I'm ridiculously self-conscious of that. You have no idea. And it's so far in the past now that I don't feel too bad on it. You look at my old videos, and you're like, okay, this is a point in time where I had braces, yada, yada, yada. And I know,
early
like...
career, you know?
I know I'm a well-spoken individual because I've been told that by every English teacher I've ever had, and I've been paid to do voice work. So, and I get that's something I understand where my talents are. So I don't feel too bad about it now because I know it's just like, yeah, it was one part of my life. But like even still looking back in those videos, it's like I just wish I didn't sound like this. I wish. Yeah. If I could replace the audio track and I could just re-record all the lines and just make it, I wish I could do that. But you can't change uploads like that, unfortunately, unless I just re-uploaded it with a different track. But I don't even have the original gameplay, and at that point, I would want to
just remake it entirely,
and it's like I
fresh set mind.
Someday I'll probably revisit some of those earlier videos where I had braces. Like I'll probably visit, like I'd like to revisit Vex and some of those games, Scalar and whatnot. See what I think about them now. But no, I do get really self-conscious about that. Absolutely. But I try to live with it.
Yeah.
Chris Reed asks, I don't know if you mentioned this before, but in the future, would I like to make a film? Yes. Either write, direct, both, or just work on it. Also, Brady, you would look fresh as hell with a shaved head.
Like straight bald or like buzz cut? Because like I've done buzz cut.
Yeah, we were talking about that last podcast. I think people rock the bald head look.
I don't know. Like sooner or later, once because I noticed like my hairline's starting to go like as it used like. From high school, my hair used to be a little bit lower down, but like I notice here is like it's starting to go because like I wear a hat a lot, and like when the time comes where I lose my hair, I've been in cosplay for so long, I'm set for wigs, so I don't need to worry about that.
There you go, buddy.
Brady just got brown hair, that's all. But I think I might try that. I might try that in my head.
But yeah, I would love to make a film sometime. I'm actually really bad at directing. Directing is more so about dealing with the actors and like getting a performance and collaborating with them to kind of see how these characters will act and to mold those. I'm not super great at that. What I'm good at is cinematography. So if I would work on a film, it would be more so planning how the thing's gonna look, what the shots are gonna look like. And as far as writing goes, I kind of hate writing. I'm not like great at it. If I were to write a film, though, it would be to adapt something, and I do want to do a feature-length film adaptation of Hotel Dusk someday, and I would definitely love to adapt that myself because it's a story I like a lot, and I would just kind of play through the game, and I'd probably get like a PDF with all the dialogue in the game or something, and figure out how to write that into a cohesive linear script. That I would like to do, but. If I were to like be part of a production, it probably wouldn't be me in charge. I think I'd rather just be in charge of like just the cinematography and be in charge of making it look as cool as I can. That's what I like doing. But yeah, I would like to do full films by myself sometime. But yeah,
we've talked about that.
Yeah, if it was going to be like a good production, I would have to be one component of it instead of doing the whole thing myself. Because, I can't do... There's a lot of fields I'm not good at, but there's some I'm really good at, so, but short answer, but it's, Bit Deep asks, as a creator myself and juggling life needs, how the heck do you dish a video out almost every week of that quality? I don't dish a video out every week. I don't know. Everyone always says that. Look at the dates between my videos. It's like 2 weeks to 2.5 weeks. At least it has been this past year. The reason it's been a little slower this year is because I'm in a relationship now, and that's like a big part of my life. But I'm like... I still try my best to get it out when I can.
Even with what you're working with now is quite impressive. So
I think it's just because I've done it so long, I kind of know the steps so well that I kind of like I just can get into a groove. Where some days there's been days where I've written the whole script and recorded it all in one day. So I guess it's just a matter of like. I feel like doing a lot of work today, and like I just work from basically when I get up to when I go to bed. And I can really only do that when it's a part of the video that like I kind of enjoy doing. I don't really enjoy writing or recording that much, but I like editing. So if I have all the material I need, the gameplay's done, the recording's done, I can spend a whole day and just mash through like 21 minutes of B-roll and get the whole thing. If I like get some coffee into me, I can focus. But I don't know. I think you're giving me a little bit too credit. I'm not like, I don't get it out that frequently, but I don't know. I try my best. I appreciate that you seem to think I'm very, very on the ball with that. So that makes me feel good about it, because sometimes I feel like I'm falling behind, but if it doesn't seem that way, then that's a very good thing. So thank you. Phil Zoran, or Phil I Zoran, Phil 1 Zoran? It's like there's the word Phil, the name Phil, and then like a lowercase I, like space, and then Zoran. Is it
Phil
like
Zoran?
Phil the first Zoran. Phil Zoran the first.
Phil asks, do you consider Rayman Origins to be Rayman 4? A lot of people I know talk about wanting a Rayman 4, but when I point out that technically they want Rayman 6 since Origins and Legends exist, they get angry and threaten to bash my head into a brick wall until I'm nothing more than a pathetic puddle of blood. Love your videos, by the way.
Tell those guys to fucking grow the fuck up, because
or I'm coming down there and their lunch money is mine.
Jesus, how people don't know how to have a conversation. Like, I like having conversations with people because I like to hear their perspective, even if it's different than mine. People are just so selfish. They think the way they think has to be the way everyone thinks. I do disagree, though. I don't really consider Rayman Legends and Origins Rayman 4, because to me, a Rayman 4 would have to be branching off what the previous game was and elaborating on, you know, and it feels like, it was like, you know, when they made Sonic Advance, that wasn't the next Sonic game. So I kind of view it in that way. When they made New Super Mario Bros, that wasn't...
I wasn't thinking about the next that being...
Yeah.
Mario,
I feel like the 2D Rayman at this point, in the same way that 2D Sonic and 2D Mario, it's the same series, but it's like the parallel series to it. So to me, I really view Rayman Legends and Origins as Rayman 2 and Rayman 3 in the 2D series. That's how I kind of see it. I see it a little separate.
When you take different like from 3D to 2D, 2D to 3D. Yeah, it's definitely like that, because, like, I mean, like, there's Sonic 1, 2, and 3. Sonic and Knuckles, which is technically 4-3. 3-4, actually. And then you got Sonic 4, Sonic Advanced, and then Sonic Mania. Like, I mean, you can take what you want from it. It's just... It's
all semantics in the end. It doesn't really matter.
A number is just a number. You can make a timeline if you want.
I couldn't imagine getting that angry over the fucking words we use when talking about a game, whether you call it a number or not a number.
You're telling me it doesn't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5? I'm gonna kill you!
Like... God damn, like, if you don't call it Fast and Furious instead of Fast and Furious 4, I'm gonna kill you.
Whatever happened to 3K? We just went to 4K? What was it, 2K first?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2K, and now we're at 4K? What the fuck, Nintendo?
What the fuck? Yeah, people are insane, dude.
You tell them to go drink some milk.
Yeah, they need to get some nutrients in their brain.
Call them a goof. Call them a goof.
Call them a goof. Just say...
You're a goof, bud.
Just tell them they're a goof getting this angry over semantics and just exit the conversation. So that's the mature thing you can do. But yeah, that is bonkers, dude. I'm sorry you have to deal with that. Galloping Sausage asks, back when you were both working retail, did you... Well, you still work retail.
I still work retail.
We were both working retail. Yeah. Did I ever have any customers recognize me from my YouTube videos?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you did, but I never did.
No, that still happens. That's still a thing, that people are like browsing my store. They're looking at me, and I'm just standing there like a normal clerk, no hat on, just kind of like fixing my hair you know, just organizing games, and then they go, "I'm sorry if this is very awkward, but are you Nitro Brady? Are you Brady from the Nitro Rad?" I'm like, "Yes, I do Nitro Rad stuff. I'm guessing you watch." And then they're like, "Oh my God, you're local?" And I'm like,
Oh, that's so weird. Like, because I've had a number of people recognize me in public, and they're usually, it's like some of them are surprised they didn't know I lived here.
Yeah,
which is interesting because like on my Twitter profile it says I live in Nova Scotia.
My assistant manager at the time was a fan of our channel.
I remember that. Yeah,
I came in to pre-order Luigi's Mansion and realized the previous assistant manager transferred, and I was like, well, this sucks. He was pretty cool.
Yeah. God, I wasn't terribly big when I was working retail. I think I was definitely below like 60K subs.
Yeah.
I think so. It never happened. Yet you get recognized at work all the time. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, people are just like, well, tell James I say hi, and I'm like. Okay.
Right. Remember that guy recognized us in the mall?
Yeah,
he came up, and he was actually more of a fan of Garanicor, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, I love getting stoned and watching your videos." I'm like,
they're fucking
right on, dude. Hell yeah!
Like, hey.
It's I feel like Garanicor is like a similar sense of humor to like Adult Swim surreal shit.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to get like, you know what? Probably a lot of stoners like our videos, but at least someone's liking them. Hell yeah,
someone
dude.
Likes
power
them,
to
they
you.
like them, right?
Power to you. Last question from Noah Nesbitt. I remember hearing about your problems recording Hilux 2 in the previous podcast. What other games given you trouble in terms of recording?
Punky Skunk.
Punky Skunk, yes. Umurangi was another recent one. That was a nightmare, but I discussed that on the podcast. Yes, this was not recording the gameplay, but this was... You're still mad about this. You still hold a grudge. We recorded the entire Punky Skunk video, and I accidentally deleted all the footage off my SD card before I copied it to my hard drive. I thought I copied the files over because I copied different files over, but no, I didn't get that. So I just cleared the card for filming one day without realizing I didn't wait, and I deleted all the Punky Skunk footage. So I had to get Brady over a week later to redo
you went away.
all
You
the lines.
went away to go visit our buddy Dylan. I think.
Oh yes, I went on a trip to New Brunswick to visit my friend, and we had to wait like a month later to redo all the lines.
I came over specifically because you were like, I'm gonna edit this while I'm up there, and it'll be out, and then you're like, I just deleted everything, and I went, you what?
Not everything, just the on camera part.
And I was just like, I was so tired after that. It was like, okay, next, let me know when you come back.
But if you're wondering why the Punky Skunk, look at the Punky Skunk video's date, like compared to the one before it. That video came out really soon after, just because I had most of it edited. I just needed to re-record the on-screen bits. That's why the video came out so fast, because most of it was like done and delayed.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's another one. But yeah, that's last of Patreon questions.
You want to give it a refresh real quick?
Yeah, may as well. Camera's battery just died, so I just put it in, so sorry for the cut. But yeah, that's the end of podcast questions. We did a refresh, and that's all of them. Well, yeah, we should bring up the Nintendo Direct, because we didn't mention that.
It was short, it wasn't bitter, it wasn't sweet, it was just kind of bland, and the only thing I got from that was Cadence of Hyrule's coming out physically, and I'm happy about that.
I'm just really happy that, like, SMT5 is finally, like, had a trailer, because I have 2 friends that have been waiting I have 3 friends that have been waiting for that for forever.
What is it,
so
7
I'm really stoked
years?
for them. It's a long time since when the Nintendo Switch first had its unveiled trailer in, like, 2017, 2016, something like that. So maybe not 7 years, but it's been, like, 3 or 4. It's been a while. It's just been like, it's weird they would announce that and not have anything for forever. So, and then the release year, 2021, they're also doing that HD remaster of Nocturne, which looks cool. They're doing like kind of a cell-shaded, updated look, and similar to how they did with Xenoblade Chronicles, and it looks cool. But yeah, everyone's just pissed off, but I think it's because everyone set their expectations way too high. Nintendo
I set them very low. I was like, I'm just hoping this is going to be 2 minutes long. And it was 8 minutes long, baby.
Like, Nintendo said it was going to be from third parties, so it wasn't going to be any of their...
company.
Wasn't going to be... I don't know what people were expecting F-Zero and new Smash shit.
Y'all were hyping that up too much. That was on you.
And it was also a Nintendo Direct mini of just third-party stuff. I don't know why everyone, like, expected all this crazy shit.
Did you know Japan's was, like, 4 minutes longer than ours?
Really?
Yeah, it showed off, I think, 2 different games, and I was like, that's cool. And in the Japan one... There's one clip in one of the videos, or the trailers, and on this table is an envelope with a red wax symbol. Something that is very common recently in Super Smash Bros. As an invitation thing. People were speculating on that. I'm like, you do know waxed seals were a thing prior to Smash Bros. You need to know that. Yes, it's a Nintendo game. Yes, it has a red seal stamp of wax. Doesn't mean it's Smash Brothers. Calm down. Chill yourself before you start killing people, okay?
People just set their expectations way too high. They cling on to every, like, little tiny shred of hope they're going to get what they want. And people are too selfish. They want what they want, and if they don't get what they want to kill somebody.
I was disappointed with Byleth coming into Smash Brothers just because I was like, Fire Emblem, cool. Another one, just what we need. However, when I see people like this, like ranting and raving, being like, I'm gonna fucking boycott Nintendo for this, what the fuck, blah, 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 what about Metroid, what about this? I'm like, you do know, you just got an announcement a while ago. Yes, it did get held back that you are getting a Metroid game.
Yeah, but
it was started from scratch, but at least you're getting that.
Yeah.
These guys are finally getting something of them. People want a Bayonetta 3, they're getting Bayonetta 3. Cool, everyone... Not everyone's getting what they want. However, they're slowly getting things here and there. You just gotta fucking wait. I'm still waiting for Mario 3D World Deluxe. Will it happen? I don't know. Am I hoping? Yes, I'm optimistic. Calm down. Stop setting fires on Twitter and trending the pages and putting Nintendo in a bad light. The only thing that they should really be criticized for is just taking cease and desist with fans. I want to talk about this one other thing. Yeah. It was a fan game. It was inspired by the Super Mario Bros. Super Show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a 2D platformer, Mario. Hand-drawn, and it's in the style of the cartoon.
Send this to me so I can put it up.
It looks amazing.
That's cool.
And I'm sitting here and I'm like, please stop doing news covers. I'm pretty sure news companies are paid to expose these things and give them light, and then Nintendo comes in with a cease and desist. I know they have
that sounds like a little
but
bit of a
that's my conspiracy theory on Nintendo.
I mean, news sites just need clicks, so they gotta cover stuff that's interesting that will get clicks. They just gotta. That's how they gotta make their money.
Stop sharing the stuff. Wait until it's done.
Yeah, but I just think it just goes to show how little responsibility people have in their lives when like them not getting their fucking Nintendo game makes them go ballistic. Like,
I mean,
don't get mad, get money.
I was like, literally, just if you don't get it actually, or you can't get it physically, just buy it digitally. Just calm down, get it, get your game, go away. And if you can't play a new one, just go back and play your old ones and stop going on Twitter and ranting and raving. Blah, blah, blah.
People just get too mad at dumb shit. And
yeah. I mean, thank you everyone for stopping by.
Thanks for watching.